Hey guys, my name is Marc from jazzguitarlessons.net. Most people who are successfully learning jazz guitar nowadays are not using ebooks and backing tracks anymore. Dry music theory and dry music exercises don't give you that magic touch. And plus, in the case of jazz, I know you really have to relate it all back to the way you hear these things. So if you want to develop a genuine feel for playing jazz on the guitar, you do not need to play hours with computer backing tracks. You certainly do not need to play boring exercises for hours and hours, and you don't have to take private lessons with, experienced teachers that might give you exercises that go way above your head. And that's why I've created the Concierge Method. The Concierge Method has you hear and especially feel exactly what's supposed to feel and sound like to play jazz music, jazz improvisation, and jazz comping like the real jazz musicians do. And actually, the Concierge Method relates everything back to playing on standards, which is playing on actual songs, right? Which is the goal of learning any style of guitar or any instrument, and jazz guitar is no exception there. We have now entered a new era of learning jazz guitar, and the faster you get this, the faster you can become an accomplished jazz guitarist that knows how to use, your brains to make up lines and your ears and your fingers at the same time. So a little bit about me. Hi, once again, my name is Marc from jazzguitarlessons.net, and I help people just like you become fluent and competent at playing jazz on the guitar. I've done so on the website since 2009, and I've helped thousands of guitarists, come to grips with the fine art of playing jazz. Although books, ebooks, traditional private lessons, and backing tracks might still work from some people, I believe these methods of learning have become obsolete thanks to the magic of the internet, and that's why people are turning to curriculum-based approaches such as the Concierge Method to take their playing to new levels. Have you ever felt stuck in your level of jazz guitar playing? Or perhaps you've sat down to watch 45 YouTube videos in one sitting in the hopes of discovering that secret, that magical ingredient that makes jazz guitarists sound so good. Or worse still, maybe you had to sit through a horrible private lesson with probably a well-intentioned instructor that was probably struggling to get down to your level and give you appropriate exercises for your level. So if any of this sounds familiar, do not worry, because this is what I hear. 95% of the students coming to this website to learn, that's the type of stories I hear from them. But luckily, with the Concierge Method, they can start to learn to play jazz guitar convincingly and finally sound like a genuine jazz guitarist. All right, here are the top 3 reasons I believe you should use a Concierge Method in order for you to master jazz guitar. The number 1 reason is that the curriculum is linear. So you no longer have to ponder and wonder what is next in order to learn, because it's all presented in bite-sized weekly instructions, meaning that you can say goodbye to stab in the dark. I'm going to try to practice this exercise, and you come across a simplified and structured approach that always keeps you on track for learning to comp, the chordal side of jazz, learning to improvise, and learning to play chord melody. And speaking of which, that ties into my second reason, because you will comp, improvise, and play chord melody on standards. So the second reason you should be using Concierge to improve your jazz guitar chops is actually to increase your repertoire size list. So I like to carry a list of repertoire myself with me to know which songs I can perform from memory. So while you practice all your technique, this is exactly what you have. Also, bite-sized instructions on mastering these famous jazz standards. And the third reason that you should use a Concierge Method to learn jazz guitar is that community. There's a community right now of over 550 students and counting. That's at the time of shooting this video, where you will come across peers that can give you advice, guidance, that can help you celebrate your victories, but also get you unstuck. So this is a great, we know that learning guitar is a pretty lonely sport, so you'll always be supported, surrounded by your jazz guitar peers. Now, I want you to imagine how your life would look like if at any social gathering, whether it be a family dinner or a barbecue, or if you're jamming with friends, if you could just pick up your guitar and just play. Eyes closed, full confidence, warm sound coming from your instrument, and you look at that, your fingers just know where they need to go, and wham! You're playing a tasteful version of Autumn Leaves or Summertime, and you do this with full confidence. Of course, you do trust that your ears will guide you through this entire process. You play the melody or a little bit of a chord melody, and then you play some comping, nothing really fancy, but it just fits the mood and it's groovy, swinging, and then you play a bit of a solo. People are listening to you, and maybe you play so good, I don't know, maybe someone is starting to snap their finger at the beat, at the pulse you're doing, or maybe someone started singing. So that would be a game changer, right? Alright, so in the next video, I will share with you how to start implementing the Concierge Method into your own playing, and I will share one practice step you can start to do right away to transform radically your playing. So I'll be sending this video in the next few days. Please stay on top of your inbox to make sure you catch that next video release. I've also got some exciting news for those of you who are really serious about mastering jazz guitar. In a few days, I'll be releasing my program, the Jazz Guitar Mastery Program, and I'll teach a handful of students how to become competent jazz guitarists. Now, as much as I like to teach everybody that want to come in the program, I found out that people improve their chops, their jazz guitar skills way better when we work in a small group. So please, if you're interested in that, please click the button here and join the wait list. I call this the early bird. And the advantage here is that you will get the enrollment link 24 hours before this is publicly released on the website. So please do make sure to enter your email there so you can get an advantage. You have a leg up when we start the enrollments. And please note that the seats for the program, the spots are on a first come, first serve basis only. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any sorts of question, please send me an email. Always happy to hear from you. And as I said earlier, please stay tuned for the following video where I'll show you how to start implementing the Concierge Method with that very simple, effective practice step. So stay tuned for that second video, and I will see you there.